Hello students, in this video we shall discuss the basics of middleware. In the previous unit we have seen how we can use Express, that is Express.js, to initiate the backend services in a MERN stack application. Well, in this unit we will discuss a lot more about the middleware. So let's dive into the topic. Middleware. In simple terms, middleware functions are those that have access to request object and the response object. These functions can execute any code, make changes to the request and response objects, and also it ends the request response lifecycle and call the next middleware functions. So what is the role of middleware in MERN stack? In the context of a MERN stack application, middleware plays a very pivotal role. So it plays a pivotal role in the server side part. So primarily within our Express.js framework. And also it acts as a bridge between incoming requests and the corresponding responses. It ensures smooth and controlled data flow. So in this unit, we will discuss about the types of middleware. So let's have a look at the various types of middleware. So we have application level middleware. This type of middleware is bound to an instance of Express application using app.use method. This is an HTTP method, app.use method, or there is another method called app.method, which is in fact HTTP method. Now, it is useful for tasks like logging, authentication, and handling common functionality across different routes. So that is the application of application level middleware. Then let's talk about router level middleware. Now this is similar to application level middleware but bound to an instance of express.router. It is used to organize and modularize the middleware functionality within different routes. Then we have error handling middleware. Now this is defined with four arguments. Uh, I have not mentioned it here, but the arguments are ERR, REQ, RES, and next. This middleware is designed to catch and handle errors that occur during the request response cycle. They are not mentioned here in the PPT, but however, you will see them in the later part of the video. Eventually, we'll get there with an example code. There we will see what are those parameters, and also they are very clearly mentioned in the nodes that you will be going through. Then, after that, we have built-in middleware. Built-in middleware, uh, it is a very peculiar middleware. Express.js provides some built-in middleware functions such as express.json and express.url encoded methods to handle common tasks like passing JSON and URL encoded data. Okay, so if your application is dealing with some JSON body, JSON data, then you may have to use built-in middleware that provides these two methods, that is express.json and express.url encoded method. Then finally we got third-party middleware. There are numerous third-party middleware packages, guys. They are available, where you can integrate into your Express application for added functionality. For example, here I mentioned CORS, which is CORS, Then sessions and cookies also come under third party middleware. Okay, so since that now we have come across the types of middleware, let's apply the same concepts in a live example. So here I have a live example using which we can understand what is going on, and we can clearly understand what are the different types of middleware that are used. So in the beginning, if you observe, we have initiated the express lifecycle. We have initiated the express app, and we have used const router equals to express dot router, which is used to initiate the router. Then uh, if you can see in the line number 5, we have initiated the built-in middleware to pass JSON bodies. So in this particular example, I want to discuss two methods here. That is, one is get and post. Using these two methods, I want to uh, post a method and get the data, which I'm sending as a request here in the application. Okay, so express.json is used to parse JSON bodies from incoming requests, making it easy to handle JSON data in the routes. Then let's talk about application level middleware for logging requests. Okay, here I mentioned it clearly. Now a middleware function logs each request with a timestamp. I've used new date method to get the timestamp. So not only timestamp, a middleware function logs each request with a timestamp, HTTP method, and URL. This is added using app.use. Okay, here we have used app.use and applies to all incoming requests. We'll see what are the different incoming requests that we have, and next method is used to go for the next middleware functions. Then we have router level middleware for user related routes. Now this middleware is specific to the routes. Here in this case we have slash user routes. So middleware specific to the slash user routes logs a message whenever a request hits any user related endpoint. Okay, and the example route I've used here is this is the router level middleware, and for that I've added another example. Here the route slash user slash profile is defined to return a sample user profile. Now this is the sample user profile. Okay, upon the request this is returned. Okay, I hope you remember the syntax of the callbacks from the third unit. Then let's look at how the error handling middleware works. This middleware catches and handles any errors that occur during the request response cycle. It logs the error stack to the console and sends a 500 status. Like I mentioned here, it sends a 500 status response with an error message. So the error message is something broke. Got it? Okay, so this is about these are the four arguments that I was discussing about: ERR, REQ, RES, and next. So these are the arguments that are always there with the error handling middleware. So these are the arguments that are used, and the status code here is 500 if an error is, or if an error exists. Okay, so I've attached the router to the application here again by using the method app.use. Then example route to demonstrate built-in middleware functionality. So the route slash data shows how the built-in express.json middleware works by sending back the past JSON data received in the request body. Okay, so here I've used post method to show how the express.json middleware works by sending back the past JSON data. Okay, here we have received the request body. We have received a request body, and here we are going to send it back. Okay, we are going to post it using the post method, and this we are pretty much familiar from the previous unit where we start the server. Okay, and here I mentioned the localhost server 3000. Okay, so either of these, if we mention any port number, well and good, or else by default it will pick the 3000. So these are the console log. Let's look at the console logs here. Now if we are, as soon as the request is sent, every request is noted by a timestamp, right? So here we will get the timestamp if we are sending back the request, and if we are requesting the data, the past data to be shown, here the user router middleware will be uh, it can be seen in the console.log console. Okay, so let's look at how this works exactly. So node.middleware.js, yes, our application is in the file called middleware.js. So we got server is running on port 3000. So now let's go ahead and let's look at how the request is being sent as a profile, as a JSON body. So let's head to the nearest browser and let's give localhost 3000 user slash profile. Okay, so the express.json was able to parse the data, and we were able to receive the request. Okay, then let's go back to the VS code. Here we got the log message that says user router middleware. Now let's try to post the received data. Okay, here let's try to post the received data. For that, let's use postman. So here we are trying to post, so let's choose the method post, and as far as body is concerned, let's click on raw so that JSON is selected. Okay, now let's click on send. Okay, here I've forgotten to give the localhost 3000 data. Yeah, so I've forgotten to give the route. So now let's click on send. So this was the data that has been JSON data that has been posted and which was received as a request earlier. Okay, so this example was to show you how different middleware works within a single application. And in the coming videos, we will break down these concepts into parts. We will discuss about how get works, how post works, how delete works, how put works, and also we will see how regular expressions can be embedded into middleware. What is its role, etc., etc. There are many more exciting topics, in this particular unit. Okay, so I hope you will have a lot of fun. Okay, and as a reminder here we got the timestamp of the post method and also the URL, that is the route. Okay, so we'll meet in the next video. Thank you.